The final thing that you need, of course, is the data, or the data for the actual code to work. So you need to copy over the data folder to the hello world that you're creating. Just simply Command C or whatever, copy it and then paste it in there, and that'll let you run the code. Now, I do want to emphasize for this week, it's really about trying to understand how objects work in creating a larger, more complex set of coding. So what you're seeing here is one module effectively running your program. It is creating two types of objects. One is to load the data and to contain the data. So there's actually two objects there actually just for that kind of functionality. And then the third object does the analysis called data analysis. So we had that load data object created, which loads the data, and then we have a child data, which takes another data object, or rather takes an object called data object, which is building from that. So that data object contains the data. And then the third step is the analysis, which is sort of the ability to analyze the data. So it's two kinds of things, but three objects in total. So three steps, I said, but three objects is what I really mean. So load data and analysis are two steps, but three objects used in total. So that's kind of what I want you to go over. Now, if you look at this week's module, or rather the exercise, I should say, I want you to modify the CSV file, adjust code so you can read multiple data points or multiple data objects. So for instance, if you're creating more than one child data, you should be able to create that. So in this case, I only created one child data in my code. What if I wanted to create more? How would you do that? And I want you to add some functionality that takes extra data objects you have. So something like applying the Fibonacci or quadratic Pythagorean theorem on this extra functionality. So now it's giving you practice of applying functions across multiple data. So a lot of this is basically adding loops to some of this. So maybe or creating multiple objects. So you can add a loop, for instance, in your run method to apply this, or change or modify the run file method in load data to return, say, or you could even have it a variable within load data that contains a list of child data objects, for instance. That could be one thing you can do. So there's many ways you can accomplish this assignment, or this, I should say, exercise. It doesn't really matter to me how you do it. The point is I want you to get used to using objects, and I want you to get used to creating variables as you need them and apply them to create functionality that I ask you to do. Okay, so that's basically this week, and I'll be, of course, around for help on that during class, but of course questions if you're not in class this week.